Hi everyone, welcome back to the shopping cart series. And in this episode, we are going to work on building the front end of our shopping carts using React and Tailwind CSS. So in the previous episodes, we worked on building the REST API using Django and Django REST framework. One in this episode, our main goal is to build the interface, the product page, and also the cart page using React and Tailwind. So without further ado, we are getting started right now. Okay, right now, first thing first, we have to have Node.js installed in your computer. So go down to your browser and search for nodejs.org. So the first link that shows up, so click on the first link. So right now we're on Node.js website. So click on this download button you see here to have Node.js installed in your computer. So the reason for installing Node is because we need a package manager called npm. Just where we have pip for Python. That's the same way we have npm for Node, you get. So npm helps us to install some dependencies for our React project, you get. So even with npm, we can be able to install React itself, you get. So once you have Node installed, open your command prompts and then we're going to proceed to creating our React project. So right here, my command prompt is live. So go down to your favorite directory, go down to your favorite folder where you intend to create your React project. As for me, I'm going to go down to my favorite directory and I'll say cd documents and then cd react underscore 24. So do the same thing, go down to your favorite directory and then install your, and once you are there, you then follow me to create your React project. So right now, I am in my favorite directory. So once I'm here now, I'm going to run the command called, I'm going to say npm create vite. So vite is a different framework. It's a library that helps us to create our React projects. I'm going to say npm create vite at latest and then hit enter. So it's going to take, okay, just wait for it now. Give it some time. So now it's up. Now it says asking for a project name. So I'm going to call this, let's just say, shopping carts, shopping underscore carts underscore app, and then you can call yours whatever name you like. So I'm calling my shopping underscore cart underscore app. So then hit enter. So now you can see we have some languages, we have some frameworks there. We have vanilla, Vue, React, and the rest. So use the arrow key on your keyboard and choose React, and then hit enter. So we are asked now to pick our language. So use the arrow key, then pick JavaScript. Enter. So once you've done that now, you can see it says you can run these three commands. So we are going to run the first command and say cd shopping underscore carts underscore app and then hit enter. Sorry, that's spelled that wrongly. Oh, sorry, cd then shopping underscore carts underscore app, then hit enter. Once you've done that now, the next command is npm install. So npm install is going to simply help us install every dependencies for this React project to get. So hit enter. So it's going to take quite some time to have it installed. So we are going to wait for it. Okay, so right now we are done installing the dependencies, and then we are going to simply say code. We are going to open this directory with VS Code. So we are meant to run this last command, but we are not going to run the last command yet. So just say code and then dots, hit enter. So this directory is opened on the VS Code. So right now we have our React projects now on VS Code, opened on VS Code. Okay, so before we have Tailwind installed, I need to explain the basic React workflow. You understand? So over here, this is what we have here. So now I'm going to explain what's going on there. So I need to run my server. So open your terminal now, terminal, and then new terminal. So instance. So I prefer using command prompt. So click on this drop down you see here, drop down here, and then choose command prompt. And once you're here, so I think you can just run the command npm run dev. So this command is just like Python manage.py run server for Django. So I want it's called npm then run dev on React. So hit enter. So once this has been done, So let's watch now. Our server is about to run up because this is the URL. You can simply hold down the control key on your keyboard and then click on this URL to open it on your browser. So right now it's loading and it's about to get loaded up. Okay, now this is the default landing page for our React project. Okay, now so we have our React project running successfully, right? So I'm going to do a basic explanation of this React setup. You understand? So first of all, we have this folder called Node Modules. This folder simply helps to hold all the dependencies for our React project. It helps to hold all the files, all the dependencies and packages for our React project. Understand? So we then have this. So we can ignore this public folder for now, and then we have the source folder. This folder is super important. This folder is what holds our components. I might be asking, what is a component? React application, everything you see there's a component. So right now on this shopping cart, this NavBar is a component. Each of the products cart is a component. Understand? So our cart page is a component also. Each of the cart item, each of these rectangular boxes you see is a component. Even a button can even be a component in a React application. So React is basically a component based library. You understand? So everything there, even a single image, can also be a component in React. So as I was saying now, this source folder helps to house our components. So we can come over here and create a component called navbar.jsx. Understand? Card.jsx. Understand? So that is how it works here. And over here we have the parent component, which is called app.jss. So this component helps to hold every other component. So don't worry, I'm going to explain everything to you guys. Understand? So right now, this component is what is being rendered on the browser. What you have here is coming from the roots component called app.jxs. Hope you understood. And for this component, this is the style sheet called app.css. You get? So, and then we have our index of CSS. So this is a global style sheet. It's a global style sheet. And over here we have another component called the main.js. So this component called main.js simply helps to present the roots components to the browser. You understand? And the browser is accessed through this file called index.html. If you check closely, if you look very well, we only have one HTML file. That's because React is meant to create single page application. You understand? So what you are seeing here, let me show you something. If you come here now, understand? So we are on the products page. If I click on the cards page now, we're on a separate page, right? But it's not true. This is still the same page as what we have here. But React is able to dynamically load in components into a single page, you understand, without you having to notice it. So we're able to go from one page to another without the page reloading, and we are on a single page. React is just there to just loading this component for us on this single page. Hope you understood. Sorry for the noise. I'm sorry for that. Okay. That said now, so as I said before, we have our app.js. So this file is what is being, it helps to hold every other component. It is the root or the base component. Hope you understood. Okay, and what you see on the page here is coming from the app.jxs. Hope you get. So we have our package.json. So in this file, you can see all the shows here. Right now, you can see this is the name of our React application called Shopping Cart App. You understand? So, and right here, these are the dependencies that we currently have installed. We have React installed and React DOM installed, right? So right now, I think I've explained the basic information to you guys. So now let's start building. Let's start adding our own custom components. Let's start building our own custom shopping cart. So right now, the first thing we are going to do is that we are going to simply empty the app.js file, our base component. We're going to get it empty. Instead, we don't need all this code here. Control A, remove it, enter. That's gone. Go down to your index.css. We don't need this, guys. Leave. Stand. So where else? Your main.css. Okay, that's fine. You can leave that. So your app.css, also remove the contents of the file. That's gone. So once you've done this now, I think we are making some progress. Right now we have to install an extension called EX7. It's called EX7 is 7. So okay, here's the components here. Is this a component? No, not this. Ouch, where are you? Yes, this is a component over here. It's called EX7 plus Redux/React native snippets. So make sure you have this component installed. So with this component, you can easily create your components with a single command. I'll show you that right now. So make sure you have this component installed. It's called EX7 plus. Understand? So just search for that in your make sure you have this extension installed, not component. It seeks an extension. Go down to your extension panel and search for EX7 plus. So you're going to have this exact extension pop up, and make sure you have yours installed. I already have mine installed. So right now I'm going to go down to my app.js and I'm going to run this command. So right now I want to create a component. I'm going to say RAFCE. So this is called React arrow function exports component. Sorry, RAFCE should be called React arrow function component. RAFCE, React arrow function export component. So just hit enter. So with that command RAFCE, you'll be able to create a component in no time, very very fast. So right now I have a simple this is my app component. So I'm going to place here hello world, and go down to your browser, and right here we have hello world on the screen. So that's perfect, but this is right now see it's not looking good, it's looking quite ugly. So it's time for us to add Tailwind CSS to our code. So if you remember, we removed the default styles we had before. We removed them. So and then I can say our output isn't looking that good. So now let's go down to the browser and search for Tailwind. So Tailwind, it's enter. Sorry, not Tailwind Awesome, but Tailwind CSS. Tailwind, then CSS, and then hit enter. So here's the first link. You're good to go. Click on it. So once you're here, click on get started, and there you can say on this installation where we have installation. Click on the framework guides. Click on that there and scroll down. So we are going to pick Vite. Remember, we have to create our React projects using Vite. Understand? So click on this Vite and then scroll down a bit. So you can see these are the commands you are meant to run first. If you remember, while creating our React projects, we have to run npm create Vite at latest instance. So we've already done this already while creating our React projects. You get so. Scroll down now. So we are going to simply install Tailwind CSS. Copy this now, Ctrl C. Go down to your terminal. So I'm going to open a separate terminal for installing dependencies. This terminal you see is mainly for running our server. So over here, I'll just say command prompt. This is a different terminal majorly for installing dependencies. And I'll paste that and hit enter. So we're going to wait for it to get installed. So back here, you're going to copy the other command. Copy this. Okay, we're having Tailwind. So that the first command is done installing. So paste the second one. Hit enter. Come back here again. Scroll down. So you're going to copy the whole of this. Copy. Click on this button. It has been copied. Once it has been copied, copy this, go down to your React projects. You can copy, or you can click on this button here. So go down to your React projects. You're going to see a file called tailwind.config.js. So I open the file. So replace the content with the copied contents you get. So we have this already. Perfect. So once you've gotten this, to the browser, scroll down. So now we're going to copy this now. Copy. And then we are going to paste this into the index.css. Go down to your React project, and where is your index.css? Over here. Paste this here and paste. So let's see if we are done. So scroll down. So yeah, I think we are making progress now. So now you can then run server, right? So now let's run server, and let's see our server is running. Remember, we're going to separate stamina for the server, and the server should be running. Go down to the browser now. You can see now our style is looking, our font is looking better than it was before, thanks to Tailwind. So right now, let's start creating our components instead. So we are going to start with the navbar. So this is our navbar over here. You can see this one that holds the shop it and then the carts icon. So now, okay, let's do that. Go down to the source folder. We are going to create a folder called components inside of the source folder. So new folder. I'm going to call it components. It's enter. So once that has been done now, so inside of the components folder, I'm going to create a new file called navbar.jxs, and then it's enter. So right now we have a component. So we are going to run the command rafce. Make sure you have the EX7 Plus extension installed. So I'm going to say rafce and then say enter. So right now we have our navbar components created, and yeah, I'm going to put in the actual code for our navbar. Right now we only have this navbar text, so I'm going to simply import navbar. I'm going to simply import these components into the app.jxs. Remember I said the app.js is the parent component. It is a component that holds every other component. So right now I'm going to simply import the navbar.jxs into the app.jxs components. I'll come down here and just say navbar. Yeah. Once you hit enter, it helps us to import navbar on top, and then I'm going to simply close it. It has been closed. So right now you can see we are having this red lines. That's because in a component we can only have one parent. But right now we're having two parents. We're having the div and the navbar. So to avoid this error now, we are going to simply put these two guys inside of a fragment, and that fragment will simply represent their parents. You get, so just hit enter and then do this. So right now this is what we call a fragment. So I'll just cut the closing fragment and then paste this under. So right now you can see the error is gone. You can see we are meant to have a parent. You can only have one parent in a component. You can't have several parents. So right now this fragment represents the parents in this app component. So if I go down, remember this navbar, you can see this is the content. Our navbar is simply holding this content called navbar. Let me just say this is my navbar, right? So if I go down to the browser now, what do we see here? You can see we have hello world and then the navbar. You get, so right now I'm going to simply copy in a real navbar into the navbar component. So I think I have the code on GitHub. So I'm going to simply copy a navbar code. This is a simple navbar built with that has some Tailwind classes. I got it from Flowbyte. So Flowbyte is like Bootstrap. You understand? Well, Flowbyte is like Bootstrap, but this time Flowbyte is built on Tailwind CSS. So you go down to their docs now, and then on the left panel, look for components. You can see component now. You can see the different component they have there. You find your navbar, you see what I'm talking about. You can see, you can find different components over here. Okay, now I just got my navbar components, and I go down to your navbar components, and then I'm going to simply paste the flow byte styles. So right now this is my navbar. Okay guys, so now we have our navbar. We have the navbar already, and also our, what's it called? I think our server is running properly. Just Ctrl C, be sure. Yes, and then npm run dev. npm run dev, hit enter. Up, run up. Okay, it's up again to the browser. Oh, you can see we have our navbar. Oh, it disappeared. What happened? Okay, we have our navbar here. That's fine. So you can see, if you go down to your, this is our navbar. Remember, we had to import the navbar into the app.jxs. Understand? So this guy is not meant to be there. So I think he's somewhere around there, I think. So let's remove this div. So assuming the navbar was not placed in the app.jxs, the navbar wouldn't have been on the screen. So let me show you. If I remove it now, remember this is our navbar over here, but it is no longer in the app.jxs. I told you that this is the parent component. It's the browser. You can see browser is empty. So make sure your components are always placed in the app.jxs. Ctrl Z. So we have it back. So once we've done this now, the next thing we want to work on is our product listing. You understand? This component that holds these individual cards. So we want to simply list out our product container. So that's a component on its own. You understand? So this space, the white space you see around there, is a component. This card is also a component. So right here, so your component folder, create a new file called products container.jxx, and then hit enter. So that done. Once you have that done, next thing you have to do now is to go down to your component and then RAFCE, and then hit enter. RAFCE, yes, enter. Oh, did we make any mistake? Okay, we are correct. So we don't need that suite. Okay, that's done. So once you've done this now, let me just go get my product container code from GitHub. I already have them pushed to GitHub. So product container. So here is the code here. Just copy it. I simply just need the class. Simple, just the class. Ctrl C. You go down to your components here, and then I'll simply pass the class there. Let me say class name. Remember in React, as I was saying, in React we don't use class the way we do in HTML. That's because React is a JavaScript library, and class is a reserved keyword in JavaScript. So to prevent the clashing names, React has to opt for class name. So I'm going to simply paste that class name here. Paste it. So this is our component. So this is our product container. It is just simply an empty div. Understand? So you can see it is this white space. You see, there's a container that holds each of these product cards. There's a container that holds each of the product card. You understand? So that is the product container. You get, so that's done. Once you've done this now, what do you need to do? The next thing to do is to go and make sure you have this component in your app.jxs. Just down there, you're going to say products container, and that's it. Perfect. So the next thing we want to work on is we want to work on the product card component, which are the individual cards you see on the screen. And so each of these cards you see here, want to work on it. So let's do that. So I'm going to create a new component called products card. I'm going to say new file, products card.cxx and then .jxx. I've been working with TypeScript, so that's why I did that. So yeah, so we have that there. Gonna say RAF and then CE. Yes. So once you've done this now, we are going to copy the code from GitHub. I have everything on GitHub. That's why I pushed it. I'm going to share the source code with you guys, so don't worry. So here is my products card component. So I'll just copy this guy, this div. Don't worry, don't be scared. I'll copy this. It's just basic HTML with some Tailwind styles. Finish. It's nothing complex. I'll copy this and then simply paste here. So I'll paste inside of. I'll replace the div with what I copied. Understand? So as I said before, it's just basic HTML with some Tailwind styles. Nothing to be scared of. Nothing at all. Understand? So once we have this is our products card. So this products card now, we are going to place this products card inside of the products container. Hope you understood. You get, if you check from here, this is what we have. Products container. How is holding the product card, and then our container is then placed in the app components. So what we're going to do is that we're going to simply place our products card inside of the products container component. So we're going to come down there, come here, and then say products card, and then hit enter. It helps us import it on top. And yes, go down to your browser, and what do we have here? You can see what we have. We just have a single card, right? So I'll simply duplicate this and then paste. We have 7 cards now. Don't worry, the image is blank. That's because we are not rendering an image yet. The image field is kind of empty. We check here, it is empty. That's why nothing is coming out. This is the image field, it's empty. Right, so that's it. So let's put this line by line. Enter, enter, enter. So the next thing to work on is the footer. So we're going to create a new component called footer. I really hope you're getting some value from this. Footer.jxx. It's enter. So I'm going to say RAFCE. And then let's copy the footer code from GitHub where I pushed this footer. And this is the code. Copy from the footer downwards, Ctrl C, and then come over here and replace the div here with footer. Paste it here. Perfect. So what next? Go down to the page. Where's our footer? The footer is not on the page. What is happening? Oh, remember, we have to make sure our footer is inside of the app.jxs components. Over here, import the footer. So hit enter. We have our footer added to our base components. Go down to the browser now, scroll down. Here's our footer. So that's perfect. So what is left now is the cart page instead. So we have the home page and we also have the cart page. So how do we implement the cart page? So okay, so right now go down to your code. Inside of the source folder, we are going to create a folder called pages. So pages, and then hit enter. So right now I have a folder called pages. So I'm going to create 2 pages now. One is the home page and the other will be the cart page. So now let's implement that. So I'm going to say new file. I'm going to say home page .jxx, new file. I'm going to say cart page .jxs. Yeah, so as for our home page, we are going to do the same thing again. We have been doing the function. We're going to say RAFCE to create our components, and then we have that there. Once we have this now, we are going to simply import. We are simply going to import, what was it called? I'm going to simply import the product container and the product card into the home page. Understand? So as for the navbar and the footer, they're going to be in a separate folder. Understand? But as for this home page, you're going to simply just copy what is in between the navbar and the footer, and that is the product container and the product card. So remove this, and I'll just simply, I'm going to say product container. Remember, the product container has the product card inside of it, so this is fine. So we are good. Like once you've done this now, so now we're gonna right now we have our cart page. Go down to your cart page now. I'm gonna say RAFCE, enter. So for the cart page now, I'm gonna simply copy the styles we need for this cart page. Okay, go down to my shopping carts, to GitHub, and I think it's here. Maybe I'm looking for my carts page. Okay, just copy this div. Ctrl C. So now it has been copied, and I'll head over to my code, and then I'll simply replace this div with what I copied and then paste it. So now we have our cart page, right? This is our cart page, a separate page. It's a separate page on its own. Our own page is also a separate page on its own. You understand? So here's our cart page. Yep. So once we've done this now, instead of our cart page, we are meant to have. So we are going to come back to this guy. We are coming back to this guy. So instead of our cart page, something like this, we are meant to have each cart item. But before I put in my cart item, I want to work on being able to redirect from one page to another, because currently we are still on a single page. I want to be able to show my cart page alongside the home page. So now let's work on that. Okay, now so remember we have our pages, the home page and the cart page. That's fine. So we are going to create a new folder called layouts. We're going to say layouts. Hit enter. So in this layout now we're going to create a file. I'll call this file main layouts.jxx and hit enter. So we have this already. So come down to your code and say RAFCE, hit enter. So we are trying to be able to redirect from one page to another. So now, once we've done this now, we're going to simply come here. We're going to put in the fragments, and then we're going to simply import our navbar. The navbar and the footer will be in the main layout. Understand? The navbar and the footer they are going to be on every pages. So they are going to be in this main layout component. So I'm going to say navbar, enter, and then footer. Once I've done this now, we have the navbar and the footer. What about the content of the page? That's what we call the outlets. So over here, before we put in the outlets, we have to install a package called React Router DOM, because this package enables us to route, to be able to redirect from one page. It enables us to add routing to our application, whereby you can redirect from one page to another. Hope you understand. So now let's add this package called React Router DOM. Yeah, so delete this guy. So yeah, I'm gonna just come up here and say npm install react-router-dom and hit enter. So we are going to wait for it to get installed. So it's installing. So I think it's done installing. That's fine. So as I was saying before, now we have the React Tractor DOM installed. So now over here now we have the navbar, we have the footer. So we need to place what is going to go in between the navbar and the footer. That's our the home page, and also this cart page. You're going to go in between, right? So and this stuff and these items that goes in between the footer and the navbar, we call them outlets. So we are going to simply import outlets from React Router DOM. Hit enter outlet. So that's it. Understand? So that's that now. So we are not done yet. So we have the cart page, we have our home page, our instance. So we have our navbar and footer on the separate components. You can see them here. So we are going to go back to our app.jxx instance. So we are going to simply remove all this. So we don't need that there again. We don't need it there again. So once we've done that now, so now we are going to simply configure our routing. So we are going to create simply create a variable. We're going to call this variable router. We're going to say router should be equal to create browser router. Hit enter. So it has been imported for us from React Router DOM. And then we're going to say create, I think it's create routes from elements. Yeah, create routes from elements. So we are going to have this imported. So and once that has been done, we are then going to work on our routing. So we are going to have our parent routes. So we are going to say routes, and then hit enter. It gets it imported. I'm going to say routes, and then we'll say paths should be equal to the home page. Then we are going to pass our elements. This should be the main layouts. Understand? This main layout is what holds the header, the navbar, and the footer with what goes in between, right? So we have this now, and then we are going to simply close it. So and now this main layout because this is, remember this is where our navbar and the footer is, this main layout now. So inside of this route, we are going to create a route for our home page and also for the cart page. So I'll then say routes, and I'll say paths. I'll just simply say index, nothing like no need for paths here. So this is our index page, and I'll say element should be equal to, I'll say the home page, and then we close it. The same thing for the cart page. I'm going to say routes, and I'll say paths should be equal to carts, the carts page, understand? And then we'll say elements should be equal to, and then simply just say carts page, and then we close it. Perfect. So once we've done this now, the next thing we meant to do, we'll come down here and we'll say router provider. Hit enter. And we'll say router should be equal to the router we declared above up there, and then we can close it. So that's it. So once we've done this now, go back to the, what's it called, to the browser. Yeah, so we have our home page. Perfect. Our home page is still there. So what about our cart page now? So let's work on the carts now. So if you go down to /carts and hit enter, ouch, you throw an error. Okay, saying this is not defined. So this is an icon, so you're meant to import it. So let's go work on that. So while trying to access the cart page, we ran into this error, and it tells us that this is not defined. That's true. So we go down to the cart page now. This is our cart page. This is what it was complaining about. This is an icon. So yes, let me show you on this back arrow icon on the cart page. This icon, that's the icon. So we need to import that icon. So we need to install a library called React Icons. So I'm going to say npm install React icons and hit enter. So it's installing. Let's wait for it. Why it's taking time? Okay, it's almost done. Okay, it's done. So we already have React icons installed. So now I'm gonna simply import this. Let me just hit Control and then dots. Ouch. So right now, let's import it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get different icons of your choice. Understand? So if we go down to the browser and search for React icons. Hope this is recording. So React icons. So you might want to pick a different icon of your choice. That's fine. So I think it's this GitHub. Let's try this npm. Click on it. Oh, not this link, not this browser. Click on the GitHub pages, the first link. So yes. Okay, you can see we have different icons here. You just search for the back arrow, the back key. So you can pick whichever one you want. So the one we are using, I think is this. Where is it? I think it's this. Either of them. Let's see the name of it here. Back outline. So back outline. Where are you? It could be this. Yes, it's this one. You can see it here. You can see there. I had to search for the back arrow, the back. You understand? And then you can see we have different icons here. Click on the one you want, and then you can see this is the icon itself. You copy it. Understand? We already have that up here, and we give it a class of we give it a font size, which is this text XL from Tailwind. So we have this here now. So we need to import it. So this is the importing class. Import. Just copy this now to get it imported. Copy everything, and then come out to your browser to the top of the page. Add that here. So it has been imported. So go down to your browser now. So the cart page now. Okay, let's see. You can see nice. You can see now we have our cart page showing. Understand? So our cart is showing. That's perfect. So go down to slash. It's default. You can see now we have this. Go down to slash cart. Enter. We have this. Yes. So now we want to add an icon. We want to add a cart icon above on this NavBar, right? So we already have one. So we can come over here and just come over here and search for cart. CART. So let's pick a cart of our choice. Let's go with this. Which of them? Let's go with this. Copy. Ctrl C. Go down to your NavBar. So remember our NavBar. Where is our NavBar? Look for it. Go down to your components. This is our NavBar here. Scroll down. So I'm going to simply remove this guy. Let me just paste it here. Yeah, so we have these are our shopping carts. Yes, I'm going to add this class. This from Tailwind. So this class simply makes our cart to be this text white gives our cart a white color, and this text for XL increases the font size of our carts. Understand? So once you've done this now, let's remove this line. Let me use that again. So now let me show you how. Make sure you have this imported on top. So copy the code from here, and once it's done, go down to the top of the page and make sure you have it imported. Yes, the browser. Ouch. You can see on our navbar we now have the shopping cart icon. So now what do you want to do now? So I want to add the URL to the cart page on this cart, and also the URL to the home page on our logo. So let's do that now. So here's our shopping cart. It is inside of a div. You can see that now. So you can say ahref. Oh, I already added. You can see our cart page. Before you can access it, you must go down to slash carts. If you go down to the app to the app components, you can see now to access the cart page, you must go down to slash carts, right? So now just go down to this. I'm going to close some of this stuff. They are kind of distracting. Let me close them. So now we're on the navbar. So it's we are using the anchor tag. So now I'll go back to the home. So as for the home page now, let's see what happens for the home page. The home page now, for you to access the home page, look at what we have in the app now. So you have to access this URL slash, right? To access. Sorry. As for the home page, it's simply index, and that index represents the same slash, right? Yes. So now go down to your navbar. So we have this set. We have this also set. The browser. If I click on the icon on our shop it, we're on the home page. Click on the carts. We're on the cart page. But right now, our page is not meant to refresh. We look at what we have here. If I click on shop it, we're on shop it. There was no reload. The page did not reload. If I click on the carts, we're on the carts without the page reloading. So how do we go about that? So now right here, instead of using the a tag, we are going to use the link tag from React. So instead of using this a tag, we're going to simply use the link tag. So I'm going to change this a tag to link, link. So we need to import this from React router DOM. Sorry. So we have link here. What's happening? So over here, you're going to say LIN, and then click on this. We are going to have it imported from React router DOM. So we are going to have the same thing here. For the closing tag, put in the same link there. And over here, this is the same thing. And also for the closing tag, put in the same link. Yeah, and right now we are going to use the to attributes and not the href. So I'm going to change that to to. So not href anymore, but to instead. So that done. So the browser. I go down to my shopping page right now. Not this, but this one. If I try going back to the home page, see the page did not reload. To the cart page, there is no reloading. The page is not reloading anymore. That's fine. So right now, let's add our cart item. This stuff. Right. So now we're going to create a components for that. Go down to your components folder and create a new file. I'm going to call it CartItem. CartItem. Yeah. .jxx. Hit enter. Okay. So once we've done this now, I'm going to say RAFCE enter. Sorry. RAFCE. It's not suggesting it. Yeah. Enter. So we're going to simply copy the code from GitHub as we have been doing. CartItem. So just copy this guy. Ctrl C. Bring it down here. Replace this div you have there with what you copied. I think we are good to go. So you can see we have this FA plus. This is an icon. This is also an icon. So now let's search for it. FA plus and FA minus. They are simply this plus and minus icon. So now go down to the React icons page. Let me just search for this stuff. FA minus. Here is it. I'll simply copy this import, Ctrl C. So once you have it imported on top. And as for FA plus, let's see where it comes from. Where is it? Let's see it's from the same. Over here, paste it. Oh, they're from the same. I think they're from the same place. Let's be sure. If you're from the same. Okay, just simply come here and add FA plus. Yes, so we have that there. Here's our cart item. And for the cart item, we are going to simply go down to the cart page and then import the cart item into the cart page. So I think it should be around here. Just say cart item. It was meant to suggest it for me, but it didn't. Cart item. Wasn't imported. So we need to import it on. So I'm going to say import cart item. Yeah, it's enter. So okay, perfect. It has been imported for us on top from the components folder, then a cart item components instance. So that's it. So that's the browser now. And what we have here, you can see now we have our cart item. This is the home page. This is our cart page. Nice. So right now, let's assume a user comes over and visits a wrong part. Let's say something that does not exist, a wrong URL path, and hit enter. You can see what we have here. You can see it threw a 404 not found. So we want to simply have a customized page for this 404 page, right? So we've been doing now. We're going to create a new. Let's create a new page. Go down to your page folder and create a new page. You're going to call this new. We're going to say not found .jxx, and that's hit enter. And over here, I'm going to say rafce. Hit enter. Yeah, so I'm going to copy the code for that for this exact page now. Not found page. Where are you? Ouch, can't find it. So I already have it copied. Come up here and replace this div with it. So yes, okay. Yeah, so we have the okay. So now go down to the app.jxs. We are gonna add a new route for it. So this is how it's done. Routes. Sorry, I'll say path. So the path points to this asterisk. That's what the path points to. I'm gonna say elements should be equal to. I'm gonna say not found. Right. And then we close it. We have not found imported. So let's import not found. Let me say imports not found. Yeah, hit enter. So it's coming from the pages app, then from the not found component. That's where this function is coming from. Right? This function. So that's it now. So let's see. Go on to your browser. If I refresh this, hit enter. Oh, still not working. Okay, it says link is not defined. So we have to import link from React router DOM on the not found page. So we have this link. So now up here, going to say import link. So it's this now. So from React router DOM, just imported link. What else is left? Refresh the page. So now perfect, right? So if you access a wrong URL, you're going to be brought onto this page. So if I click back to home, I'll be taken back to the home page. That's because if you go down to my not found components, this is our back to home here, the highlighted part. You can see my link is pointing down to the home page. You can see difficult. Back to home, and we are back on the home page. You can see cart page, shop page, right? So now we've been able to build what's it called, the interface for our shopping cart with React and Tailwind. So right now over here, I want to remove this icon. I don't like it. The icon is meant to face left, but since it's facing right, let's just simply remove it. Or can we simply change it? Let's see if I can find. There is no. Okay, let's just remove it. So now, yeah, so we also have back to home. Our link points down to the home page, right? This is our link here to the home page. So this is perfect, right? Back to home. Okay, so we've come to the end of this episode. So we've been able to build the interface of our shopping carts. So everything looks nice. So from the next episode, we'll start consuming the REST API we built with Django and Django REST framework in the first 2 episodes. So right now the source code is up here on GitHub. So for episode 1, the source code for episode 1, the code is on the main branch for episode 1. So as for for this current video, for this current shopping cart we built with React, the code is on the main branch. So for the next episode, I'll create a separate branch for every episode for this React for the front end part. So I'm going to create different branches for every episode. But for this current episode, it is on the main branch. So you'll find a link to this GitHub repo in this video's description. So if you gain some value from this video, do well to subscribe, like the video, and you can also drop me a comment. You can also share it with your friends, but don't forget to subscribe and like the video. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video. So stay blessed and bye bye.